How's it going? How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm going to join on my other device. Maybe.
A cute picture of Lynn. How cute.
Let's just leave that up there, shall we?
Oh, we got to see your smile.
Mhm.
Let's see. Open. All right. Oof. What a day.
Amen, sister.
You been busy today, Melissa?
Yeah, I've got, the day job. So I was on a meeting. I was like, I got to go. It's like, I'm out. So, hey, Lynn and Sarah are on. You want to say hi?
How are you? Hey,
Hi.
girl.
I'm in my pajamas.
I should have done that, huh? I
The
was-
blessings of having school from home, right? Like, what a good time. All right, let me try to straighten this up just a little bit. All right. So, yay, I'm glad everybody got their packets. Even Anne got her packet in South Carolina, which is great. So I don't think Anne is going to join us. She said that she wasn't able to join. I guess the time was bad. She had something else planned, but she really wanted to join the class. And so I actually sent her 2 packets. So maybe she's just going to make extra cards, or maybe she's going to share with someone. Sarah, that was so sweet that Zoe posted.
I really liked it. And I was on the craft call with her and 2 other California ladies, and she was doing it while we were on our call. So then they got interested. So they might contact you for November.
Yay, awesome. I'm excited. So November will be the gnomes as a reminder. And my thinking cap has been overfloweth. So I've got some really cute ideas. How are you guys? What do you think about a non-standard card size? Are we okay with that? Okay.
Like the long ones.
Yes. Uh-huh. Okay.
I like the different sizes. I just don't like the little tiny ones.
Okay, yeah, no, I want them to be mailable. I always do mailable. Non-mailable is not cool. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing actually a tall, skinny one. And then if we do go kind of non-standard, I might make a square one too, only because I know it takes a little bit of extra postage for a square one, so that's the only disadvantage to that. But whatever at this.
Butterfly stamp, right?
It's true. A butterfly stamp would probably cover it. I'll look it up and make sure before we do it so that so I know exactly how much postage, like I want to make sure that we're straight on that. So
I won't spend too much time saying this, but when we had to send out a lot of cards thing,
yeah.
nobody got any of mine. I'm serious. Now, a lot of my family that I sent to is in Pennsylvania, and I understand mail is being held up there. But they are people that always respond to me. Oh, I got your cute card today. And I'm hearing nothing, it's like crickets. So called my sister last night and she said no. And they, when I mailed them.
Yeah, that stinks.
Mm.
So all my local people have gotten theirs. I mailed quite a few though, and I haven't gotten a lot of response. I mean, I mailed probably in the end, probably over 90, and I haven't gotten a lot of response. And so I wonder if mine are being held. Now, I did get one back, which was a shame. It was my mom's. So I'm going to have to, yeah. And I realized I was pressing my luck with the thickness of the card. It was the one that had the shaker dome on it, like the mason jar dome. But they wanted me to add $3.50, which I need to that's one of those ones that I want to bring to the post office and be like, let's talk. Like, yes, this probably wasn't a standard stamp. Realize that. Is it $4 worth? I think not, So I did that with another package and they were able to figure it out for me. So I think I'm just going to have to take this one have them refigure this out because my choices are like I could try to peel that stamp off that envelope, but like I don't know. Anyway, but anyway, let's do this class. It's fun and I love it. So this is a fun stamp set. I use the dies more than the stamp set on this one. You'll see lots of samples using the berries and the holly leaves and the different greenery. I didn't use the greenery or the holly berry leaves on any of these, partly because I knew that I wasn't sure who had access to the stamp set and who didn't. And I also wanted to show you how cool the dies are, because the dies really could just stand on their own. Like you wouldn't need, like, I just think it's a nice set of dies to have. Now I realize mine are a hot mess right now, but what's happening here? Let's see. So it has the 3 different words, right? Joy, and it has the fat outline, the medium outline, and then the skinny actual words themselves. So it has the joy, the peace, and the bright. And I really have had a lot of fun using these on lots of different projects. So I wanted to try to rearrange my dies, but it does come. So it's got 3 layers of letters for all 3 letters. And it doesn't cut any of the other stuff though, which is interesting. So like you've got these cute holly leaves and this other greenery, but there's no dies for that. So they really can work separately, for sure. And then there's no dies for any of these words, but that's okay because we can just clip these. So like if you stamp them, you can just like snip them off. But there's also probably other things that you have in your stamp sets that you could make work for this. So I'm not too worried about that. So okay, let's do the 3D project first because it was the first thing on your packet. And it's super easy. So in the PDF instructions, I actually put the link to get these wood pieces if it's something that you're interested in getting more of. And you can kind of measure. These were 2 3/4, I believe. Yeah, 2 3/4 inch wood pieces. They already have the holes pre-drilled in them, which is really important to me because I'm not going to be drilling holes or anything like that. I know some people are handy and will do that, but that's not me. And then I just subbed out. It came with like a really scratchy kind of jute twine, and I just subbed in this red burlap trim because I just thought it was really pretty. So all you're going to do is just glue your little buffalo check mousse down, and then the piece that I put on here actually has the adhesive sheet behind it. So just to make it a little bit easier, this piece has the adhesive sheet. So you're just going to peel the back off and stick it on the front. And it should stick pretty good. I'm pretty sure. Some of them I did it and some of them I didn't, but I'm 99% sure. Yeah, I did it on this one. Oh yeah. Yeah. So that'll just make life a little easier and you can just stick that on there. I wanted to do a whole card with the buffalo, with this black and white buffalo check, but I didn't have enough paper. And I was like, oh man. And so then I was like, all right, I want to use it. How am I going to use it? What am I going to do? And I was like, oh, the moose would look really cute in buffalo check. So, and I like that this is really light. So this didn't impact like sending it. Like this packet still ships really light because these are so light. And I love the natural kind of wood edge on these. So I thought this was a cool one. So that's the easiest 3D project we've probably ever had. Glue, and knot. The letters are definitely interesting. I didn't do the adhesive sheets on the back of all of them, and I kind of regret that. So I hope you have either like fine tip glue pen or Tombow, whichever one is your preference, because you're going to need it on the other projects. I should have done the adhesive sheets on every single one of them, and I just by the time that thought came to me, this is the last project I worked on. So, and I did leave some of your little pieces in here, but you can pop those out. So yeah, this is a super, super easy one, but so cute. Marianne was like, do you have an extra? I was like, no, but I have one for us, and we will put it on our tree this year. My sister-in-law gave me an ornament. I should have brought it up here, but it has 2020 and it has a mask on it. I was like, yeah, that's
I don't want to remember this
Could be
year.
my Christmas card this year too, since I learned how to make the little masks.
I know. So I made one of those paper
Uh-oh.
masks on the card, but I feel like mine was really bulky. Like I didn't like how it laid. So maybe maybe yours lays a little flatter. I don't know. I've got to figure out what's going on with the like I just couldn't get it to lay flat enough. So oh, you're frozen, Lynn, but we'll see what's going on. So let's see. Bum, bum, bum. Okay. Lynn, are you there? You look frozen. She looks frozen. Frozen. Oh, she's gone. Hopefully she'll be back. I'm going to close the door. Hold on. Okay. I got to get some water. I'm not going to make it. So.
Because you have to do all the talking.
I know. Yeah. In most of my meetings, I'm talking. And so like all day, I'm like, okay, more water, more water, more water. Drink, drink, drink. And I've had a little frog in my throat. So, but we were outdoors a lot this weekend. So I think that the allergies have been really bad. All right, let's see if Lynn hops back on and what happened. So I'll show the other card in the meantime. So this is not a card I put in the packet because I had too many good ideas, but I thought this one was pretty. Hey, Lynn.
Hello.
Hello. This is not a card I put in the packet, but I just wanted to show you. So it features mint macaron, this is one of the brushed metallic sheets. So it has kind of like it's metallic, but it's like a soft metallic. And they use that evergreen embossing folder. And then I die cut through and stamped on the card base, which is treacherous, as you always know, stamping or card base is always dicey. So, and then I just put the little to the world. This is the Just Jade ribbon, and I use the Just Jade ink because Just Jade and mint macaron are definitely good friends.
They look really good together.
They look gorgeous together. I love them together. And then I used one of those, this is like, it's hard to see, but it's one of the gems it's got a funny name. Yeah, it's got gold fleck in it. What's it called? It's the Wonderful Gems. It's these ones.
Ooh.
And the red is okay, but the gold with the gold fleck, like the mica chips in it, oh, they're pretty. I really like the gold one of these. So anyway, and then on the inside of this one, I just did, a little bit of that greenery stamping. And I did mint macaron, Just Jade, and Poppy Parade as my red. And that was the red. So this is not one of the cards I put in your packet. I had way too many good ideas, but I wanted to show you this one because I thought it was very, very pretty. And I'll send you both pictures of this one so that if you wanted to, replicate. This was definitely dicey. And it was also dicey getting that little piece popped up on a dimensional inside the joy. There was some detail work on this one. So I felt this was a little too frustrating. So we went with easier. So, okay. So what is the first card in your packet? Because I have no idea. Sarah, what do you have?
The one with the Merry loose letters.
Merry loose letters. Oh yes. Okay. All right. So yes, yay. All right, so we're going to do a very fun and cheerful card. So this one, yeah, a lot of little pieces to it. There is a piece for the bright, the little dot on the bright. If you lose that, I would say don't fret. You can always just put another rhinestone on it or something if you lose the dot for your eye. I felt like this one's, it's very fun. So this is a case from another demonstrator who I've just started following. There aren't a lot of male demonstrators, but the male demonstrators that we have, I love their designs. And they're usually very clean and simple, very graphic. A lot of them are like graphic artists, or they were graphic artists in a previous life. And so I love their designs. So from the stamp set, the only thing we're going to use are the two kind of starbursty looking pieces. If you have some other kind of star from a Star of David type stamp set, or like this is a very replicatable star. And then we do need the and from because Mary and Bright. So if you have an and, that's great. If you have an and from another stamp set that you want to stamp and punch, you're stamping, fussy cut out. It's not, I didn't feel like and was that big of a deal on this one. There definitely are a lot of pieces on this one. All right, I'm going to upgrade my blocks. And I stamped all of this in smoky slate. I think I said gray granite on the PDF, but it's probably smoky slate. I need to go back. Yeah, it's smoky slate. Okay. So I'm going to put our sample card up there so we can keep an eye on him. And then, and then I ran out of the silver paper, so I had to go for balmy blue. So we'll see what that looks like. No big deal. And then you've got your, I put a couple of rhinestones in there for you in case you didn't have rhinestones, although I'm sure you all have rhinestones. All right. So what I did on this one was I stamped the stars first. And I stamped a big one over kind of falling off of the left. Make sure that this piece is 4 by like 4 1/4. So they look really similar, but make sure you've got 4, going across. And so stamped the big star over here. And then I stamped a couple of the little stars, like one up there and one down there. And then the only other stamping is just to stamp the and on your little scratch paper. And that's it. Okay, so that's it for stamping. So very light on the stamping. And then we're going to want to put our Mary and Bright on here. So I started with the Mary over on the left, and my Mary went off the edge, but then my Bright really went off the edge, which was probably too much. Like I wonder if he'll fit in a card. I might have to trim him. So you can kind of hang him over just a little bit. With these guys, I didn't put anything on the back of them, like any adhesive. So you can kind of use the adhesive of your choice. I prefer the fine tip glue pen because I don't know. Tombo's really sticky and I get it all over my hands, and I'm just not very good at Tombow. So everybody on my team knows my feelings about Tombow. I hate it.
We never would have guessed that.
Really?
Sarcasm.
I'm too messy for this. Like I don't know what it is, but I can't handle Tombow. I was trying to find my pick a tool because I wanted to use this to help me pick these pieces up.
You want
There.
mine?
Yeah, totally.
Let me know if my volume's too loud because my husband's on a call in the other room and I can hear him.
Oh, that's funny. No, you seem fine. Yeah, Marianne's on a call in the other room as well. It gets a little, it gets a little rowdy, right? All right, so we're just gluing our letters on. And you just need a little bit. It doesn't take that much to get this. Hey, that's a bit much. Okay. And they are going to be a little crooked unless you, are perfect, or unless you put a line there, like with pencil, which you could totally do. I'm not going to. That seems crazy. This is not sticking very well. I did use the green glue on the other one, so. But I don't know. That seems a bit much. I just end up with it all over my fingers. I don't know what that is. Yes, so I went non-traditional colors, I think, on, two of these. Two of the three. I don't know.
Top example a little lower so I can see the whole card.
Absolutely. So if you get to the point where you are laying these out, these colors are actually just centered. So you're just like, I centered the yellow and then I like added the pink and the blue, and so I just centered these on the back and taped them down flat. So yes, if you guys are faster at gluing than me, I'm slow and steady wins the race on gluing tiny pieces. So. Can't believe that October's almost over. It's crazy. I saw a very cute Christmas card, or like a winter card, that had 2020 or 2021 cut out with these letter dies. And the snowman, the very rejoiceful snowman, the one that's doing this. 2021. I was like, yes, this is exactly what I feel like. Please, let's just move on to the next year. I have a friend who's like committed to finding the positive in this year. And she's like, everybody posts something, and I'm like, yeah, I know. We've all had lots of time with our significant others. We've all, I get it. We've learned how to play Uno with the best of them, but, I'm good. This is a lot of togetherness. I mean, we're together a lot, period. It's an only child, and, I don't know. Just struggling to find the beauty of this year. All right. So one of the things I know, like with the fine tip glue pen, I find that I have to kind of like press and hold it down versus like Tombow. Like I don't want to touch it because I know Tombow will ooze out and then I'll just end up being a giant sticky mess. So like these are the differences between the fine tip glue pen. And if any of you have a fine tip glue pen and your tip has clogged, like something has happened, let me know because I have replacement tips that I get on Amazon. And so if you need a new tip, just let me know and I'll get you one. Because, getting that needle in there, I mean, that is what will, stop it from clogging. But sometimes it just doesn't happen, and then people's are clogged and then they're sad. I also know you can like soak it in acetone or nail polish remover. Okay, so yours, I think I did the adhesive. Didn't I do the adhesive on y'all's? Does it have the adhesive? Is it adhesive backed? Because it looks like I did it.
Looks like it. Let's see.
Yeah, I think mine is. Excellent. Good. I'm glad I did that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think there's one I didn't, so I'll pre-apologize for that, but yeah, and I don't know what this one's gonna look like with this balmy blue glimmer paper, but it was either that or like copper, and I didn't think copper was gonna look good. So I'm just going, we're just gonna give this a go and see what happens. It's not so bad. Yeah, that's cute. Sure. And then there is, I think I left it on the sheet for you guys to hopefully make it easier to keep it all together, but we'll see if I accomplished my goal. Yeah, that's not bad with the glimmer. Like, that's cute.
Like it.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, I don't like it as much as the silver, but I think it looks very Vegas-y. Like, I feel
I
like
love it.
the very Vegas Christmas card. I've decided that. All right. So, okay. So now once we've got that built, then cutting this is really easy. Like cutting these little, just leave a little white border on the letter, around the letter boxes. And even I can fussy cut this. Straight lines. And then you can put a little mini dimensional on the back. I think maybe even half a mini is better, or like a fourth of a mini, half a mini, something tiny on the back of it. I got my letter for my polling precinct judge location, whatever. So I was excited about that. Officially telling me I'm a polling precinct judge and I must report to duty. And so that is what I'll be doing next week.
I am just
That
in
entails.
awe of how much you get done, Melissa. I do not know how you do it. I don't.
Well, sometimes you have to pay for priority shipping to get things to people on time because, it doesn't always happen. So, like Sarah, I was like, I either have to, or like last month where I drove the projects up to her because I was running behind. This month, I didn't even have time to drive the projects to her. So instead, I chose to priority ship them because I was like, well, boogity poo, like this is what we got. So, And it was funny. So I shipped yours and Anne's, and Anne lives in Charleston. She lives in Kiowa Island off of Charleston. And she got hers, which was impressive, but I just wasn't willing to risk it with yours. And so I was like, I'm just gonna, because I knew she probably couldn't come. Like she had told me she couldn't come to the live class. So I was like, well, I'll ship hers regular. But yeah, Lynn, some days I get it done, some days I don't. So, and it doesn't mean I do everything well. It just means that, there's piles of laundry in the bedroom, and those piles have been there for weeks at a time. So, okay. So on the front, then we're going to glue these strips down. So very strangely, I still had some really old coordinates paper, which is like an old paper that we used to have that has a bit of texture to it. So your Bermuda Bay piece is the old coordinates paper. So just, if you want all the pages to match, just make sure you flip it over so that you have all smooth sides showing up, because this one is, I ran out of Bermuda Bay cardstock. And so I had to go into the archives of cardstock. And this paper was cool. I loved this paper. So it was the paper that you could rip and you would see like a white core, like an inside piece. And I had packages and packages and packages of it. And so every once in a while, I'll like run out of a little bit of a color and I just need a little bit. And I'm like, oh, fine, I'll use it. So if you ever get paper from me that has this pattern, this pattern to the back side, you know why. So it's because I ran out. And so these are all supposed to be theoretically 1/2 inch by 5 inches, but I can't guarantee perfection on that. So, but we'll take these guys down. So start with the yellow one and try to center them as best you can. Nope, that's not centered. There's my adhesive eraser. All right, and then Flirty Flamingo. So Daffodil Delight, Flirty Flamingo, Poppy Parade, Coastal Cabana, and Bermuda Bay. Like, aren't those the most interesting Christmas colors ever? This was like one of those like, all right, I'm going to do the most fun color combination ever. Yeah, Martin Mayhem. Sarah, do you follow him on Instagram? Have you seen his stuff before? Martin Mayhem. Do you follow him?
Yes.
You do? Okay. Yeah, I didn't follow him before, and there was some design that he had done that kind of caught my eye. And I was like, okay, now I'm following you. So he's a UK demonstrator. And he is on Artisan Design Team this year, which is how I saw him. And he had this card, and I was like, oh yeah, we're totally doing this. Like, because I love these letters, the playful alphabet letters. And so I knew this was definitely going to happen. All right. So we've got our pieces lined up. And now, and that's aggressive, but if we cover a lot of it, then it won't be so aggressive. Because that's a lot of color. And then I did pop all of this up on dimensionals. I felt like this needed extra dimensionaling. Is that a word? I don't think so. No. Excellent. Oh, so Lynn, so they, we're talking about that paper pumpkin refill.
Mm-hmm.
So they put it out and it sold out. And then they said they're going to refill it. And so I'm going to go back after this class and I'm going to see if there's still a refill available.
Okay.
But the refill that they put up sold out apparently within, I don't know what. I mean, it happened so fast, most people didn't even know it was up. I'm looking to see. If not, I actually have a refill that I can sell you. So like I have a full kit I can sell you. So yeah, that was, but I'm going to look and see what I can get. And then we'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, and then for the other order, you just owe me for the 2 paper packs that you want to get on sale because of that DSP sale. Which I think I'm gonna get another pack of that plaid paper. Man, guys, like I've used a lot of it, and I have a feeling they're gonna carry it over because it's got a lot of springs and summer colors in it too. I just can't imagine that they won't carry that over. Like that seems crazy. What a fun card. I just love this. This makes me so happy. I can get behind this Christmas. Like this is, I can do this. I love this. My mom had a very traditional, like silver and white Christmas. Like our whole house was silver and white. And not a touch of red was anywhere in the house, like at all. Like all the presents were wrapped in silver and white. Like 18 years of silver and white.
That's consistent.
Wow.
It was a lot. And so when I left the house, I was like,
All the colors.
I was like, you want to see Christmas? Like it's all on my tree. I've got peacocks. I've got purple. I've got red. I've got yellow. I've got gold. I mean, my tree looks like every color vomited on it. And because it was such an antithesis, like I had grown up with such a, what I felt like was a really cold and sterile Christmas, and in Texas, it seemed so ridiculous. Like it's not like it snows, like it wasn't even wishful thinking, like it's not going to happen, and so it was so funny. And then you look at like IKEA, like they very much like the European tradition is a much more simplified color scheme, and it definitely is less busy and jarring on the eyes, I'm sure, but yes, so my tree is very heartfelt, but it's definitely very eclectic. I have the Golden Gate Bridge on it because that's where Jonathan and I got engaged. Like we have, and it's giant. The Golden Gate Bridge ornament that I found, unfortunately, is like this big. I mean, it's like it takes up like 1/4 of the tree, yeah, I mean, I have a lobster from Maryland on it. Like I have some really, but every ornament tells a story on my
That's
tree.
what I was going to say. Everything is meaningful to you.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
love that.
And that's why I like unpacking all the ornaments and decorating the tree, because like every time I unpack the ornaments and I decorate the tree, like I remind myself of all those stories and good times and stuff. So, all right. Well, we did it. Good job. This is probably the toughest one to put together. So congratulations. All right. So next. All right. So what's the next one in your packet? Is it the white one or the blue one?
Blue.
Blue. Okay, good. All right, let's do blue because this one's pretty. So this one features the Snowflake Splendor paper, but it features the backside, which is the watercolor wash. So everything in the Snowflake Splendors paper pack has 2 sides. One pack is really snowflakey, and then one side is very watercolored. So you could use it for baby cards. You could use it for like galaxy type cards, camping even. Like this would look really cute. There's a couple that have darker colors that would be really cute for camping under the stars. So like I think this paper, although it seems very like wintry, I think it's got a lot of utility. So, and then I did a pool party base. So on this one, I didn't cut it right. This piece is supposed to go all the way edge to edge, and I just didn't cut it right. So for this one, your pieces are, got your base, and then we've just got a scrap of white. We've got some snowflake sequins, so keep an eye on those guys that they don't run away. And then we've got Peace and Joy. So Peace and Joy have a white piece. And this is the one I didn't give you. That this one's not adhesive. Sorry. This is definitely the one that's sad. But this has both the Highland Heather and the white. And then we've got our piece of DSP that's going to go on the front. And then eventually, once we build these, then we'll pop these on here with some dimensionals, but set them aside and build them first. But it is really easy just to tape this piece down to the front. So we'll tape our DSP, and you could use, well, you can't use the other side because then your Peace and Joy will be backwards. So you're committed to the watercolor. Lynn, are you not making them live, or are you making them live?
Well, I couldn't do the other one because I didn't have the stamp set
Oh, because of the and
and the stars,
oh, the stars. Do you have a substitute for the stars?
probably.
I use
Okay.
snowflakes.
Oh
I
yeah.
did.
You probably have some snowflakes somewhere, right?
Yeah. Oops.
And Lynn, if you need to borrow my stamp set, you can just let me know and I can always drop it by.
Lynn live in your neighborhood?
Lynn lives like 5 minutes. I don't know, like right by my Starbucks.
Oh, cool.
It's just an excuse to go to Starbucks. Marion's like, oh, do we have to drop something off at Lynn's house? Can we go by Starbucks? Like, yes, we
I'm
can.
glad I'm aiding and abetting in your habit.
You are enabling 100%, 100%. So. All right. So with your Peace and Joy, just make sure you pop out all the little extra pieces. I kind of felt like they would travel a little better if I left the pieces in there. They get really rickety. So if you have any extra pieces in there, just pop them out. But I felt like they would be safer with the pieces in there. And then again, we're just gonna glue and layer. I'll probably use the fine tip glue pen because, again, I'm committed to not being adhesive to myself today. So I got something else when I was overseas, like a glue marker. I might try that on this next one and see if it works. Sarah, do you have something like that? A glue marker?
I have a jelly roll pen that has glue.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I don't. I just use the Tombow.
God. Lynn, do you use Tombow, or what do you use? How do you do little stuff?
The fine tip
You use the fine tip. Okay.
most of the time now.
Yeah, me and Tombow we're not friends.
I don't mind getting gluey or glittery or whatever.
Yeah. I don't mind gluey, or I mind gluey and glittery. So
That's where we differ, Melissa.
I know.
Well,
I wish I
if you've
didn't
seen some
mind.
of the makeup looks I've done in the past, I do actually literally glue glitter onto my face. So
I have a friend. I should send you her feed. So she's her side hustle is doing makeup artist stuff, and her stuff is unbelievable. Like unbelievable. You cannot even recognize her as a person, like in some of them. It is insane. I will tag you. She's on Instagram. Yeah, I will tag you on that. I'll send it to you because it's unbelievable, like the stuff she does. She's back in Charleston. She worked at Marion's school, and then she was a babysitter for a while, and she teaches salsa. And she's a cool person. But this makeup stuff that she's been doing lately, oh my goodness. So this is what I had gotten overseas. And it was a glue marker. And so, no time like the present to give this a go-go. Let's see. See what we think. I'm all about trying different things. If I like it, I'll put it in the product sandbox and then Stampin' Up can make one. We used to actually have, I love that two-way glue pen we had. I kept one for a long time because, all right, what do I need to do with this? I'm sure I have to shake it or something. Push the tip. Okay. I'm making messes.
So are these popped up on here and then popped up on the card, like double popped?
No, I only did a one pop. I mean, you could totally double pop them if you wanted, but
So they're
I just did.
flat on this?
I did them flat on that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see. It's a little trippy. Like the, I feel like the distance and like the galaxy look is a little trippy and it's definitely hard to see. I don't know. That doesn't seem to be working. I will test that some other time. Alrighty. Tombow. I'll use it for this because I know I can I mean, I've learned a little goes a long way, right? Like that's the key. All right. I feel like this was a pretty forgiving card design. So if it's not perfect, it's okay.
Oh, shoot.
What happened?
Oh, nothing. Carry on.
Carry on.
Ignore that man behind the curtain sort of thing.
Do I need to give you a scrap of something?
Not yet. It's pretty promising, isn't it?
Hey, we're 2/3 of the way through.
Sarah, I always have to contact her and say, I need like a half an inch by.
She's like, do you have a piece of, this that's 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch, or something? And I'm like, all right.
It's
Luckily,
absolutely worth driving down here for, but I didn't know about the Starbucks thing, so.
Well, see,
Now I don't
just
feel so badly.
you should not feel bad. I mean, honestly, we don't leave the house much other than to deliver projects and go to Starbucks and
And you have to keep your car,
absolutely
you
working.
can't just let it sit in the garage. That's just
No,
not good.
no, not good. All the more excuses to go visit Lynn.
Okay, so these go on the little punch outs, huh? No.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm confused.
Yeah, so purple on the white and then the white on the kind of large puffy.
I don't want to be gross or anything, but
that's true. I was thinking that they looked like the cool bubble letters that I used to draw in middle school. But, Lynn might have just seen something else. So I don't know.
Twisty.
Cool. Okay.
I haven't slept much, Melissa. That's what the problem is.
Oh, no. That'll make anybody punchy.
Yeah.
I did not sleep well this weekend when we were camping, but.
You didn't? Did you have a good time, though?
We did. We had a great time. It was really fun. And it was my sister-in-law's birthday. And so we had a great time. It was great. And I think it just reminded us that we should do some kind of a girls' weekend. I think that we're all at a place, where I think we could do something every year, So, and yeah, I mean, if it's, to quote unquote celebrate my sister-in-law's birthday, that's fine too. But, I think that more generally, I think that we just need a girls' weekend. So.
I think we all do.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I've got another friend we're trying to do a little camping trip girls weekend with her and I, because both of our birthdays are in December, but I don't know if it's going to work out. The timing is kind of poopy. So We'll see.
Did you get
Oh,
my email about the alpaca camping?
I did the llama camping. I have not clicked on the link yet because I got it while I was camping. So I could not, I had zero signal. I had one bar, which is like enough to get an email, but not enough to do anything with it, which was really funny. That was definitely challenging. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I want to click on these things, but I can't. So the and the to you and yours, let me put the sample back up here. So these two pieces, so peace and joy to you and yours. I mean, again, you don't need the to you and yours. You could just have an and that, you know, you could put in somewhere, but I did stamp them in Highland Heather, which is the purple that coordinates with this set or with this paper, the Snowflake Splendor paper. And again, all I did was stamp it and then just cut it out with my scissors. And then I did just kind of glue those flat down. I didn't do anything crazy with those. So scissors, there they are. The dog is just laying in here and moaning. Apparently he was distraught the whole weekend I was gone and wouldn't sleep. And
Gosh.
well, he's got problems. He's really attached to me. Like it's gotten a lot worse.
Has it gotten worse since his little procedure?
I think so. Yeah. His little procedure. Yeah.
It's a huge procedure. I'm
His
sorry.
major life altering pacemaker. Yes.
Yeah.
It has, but that coincided with COVID. So like, I mean, I don't really know. I don't know if it's a product of the fact that we're all home now. I'm home all the time, or is it more, a product of the surgery or a combination of both? Who knows,
Well, I'm seeing lots of things online about how this is impacting pets.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I guess one lady wrote an article about like how to train your pet to like relax on their codependency with you because of this. I mean, it makes sense. It's affecting all of us in all sorts of wacky ways, right? So like, okay. So now that I've got all my little pieces, so I'm going to pop my guys up with some dimensionals. And then and if you wanted to make it really pop, you could pop it with 2 sets of dimensionals. You could like double stack your dimensionals and then it would stand out even more from the base. And so that's an interesting idea if you really wanted to add like a little extra oomph. I'm okay with kind of like the small shadow, but if you wanted a really big shadow and you wanted to be able to see more of that pool party underneath, you could double stack your dimensionals. Or if you have thick dimensionals, like some companies have really thick dimensionals, you could use like some off-brand dimensionals. Whatever floats your boat. Yeah, and I can't stop using these snowflake sequins. They're so fun. So fun. All right. And then I did just glue these down flat, the little and the to you and yours. I know that Tombow is like the most like cost efficient glue. I do know that. That still doesn't mean I like it, but I know it's cost efficient. I know Sarah Cuomo on my team, and Sarah goes to her classes. I know Sarah uses it a lot. Like that's like her favorite adhesive. I have no idea why, but
Stone, right?
yeah, for sure. I love the watercolor side of this paper. Like I think they did a spot on job with this paper. It's really pretty. And then the next card, I used some of the felt. And Marianne, she's like, you can cut anything from that felt. I was like, oh God, here goes the rest of my felt. Like, she's gonna take advantage of that. The dog is literally like snoring and moaning over in my office. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's hilarious. It's cracking me up. Every once in a while, I like chuckle in a meeting and people look at me weird. I'm like, well, it's because my dog is moaning. Yeah, it's a cute card. So every year I always do a purple Christmas card. So now that I've gotten it out of my system, I don't have to do another one. So. And this one I had like kind of miscut the joy. I didn't give it to any of you. I kept it, but you can't even tell. Like it's like missing a little hook right there, but you can't even tell. I think there's so much action going on. It's a cool card.
Okay.
Awesome. Everybody good?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, let's take a look at the last one. So the last one is a no stamping card. So no stamping. I'm sure there'll be more gluing, but no stamping. So white and white and white, but then a pop. So in the package, you should have mint macaron and gold, and then the red felt. And I thought about using the red velvet paper, and it would have worked fine too. But I really like the felt a lot. And so I wanted to use the felt. But I might use the red velvet paper with the gnomes next month. I think that'll be fun. I've got an idea for that. So, okay. So, and then I did use a thick white card base just so that it stands up really well. And I did pop that, like I popped the entire snowflake piece on dimensionals to give the whole thing, a lot of lift. So we'll kind of build the letters first and then we'll put it together. And let's see, was I nice? I don't think I was. I think you have to glue. Yeah, you have to glue this one. Sorry. Back to my fine tip glue.
Nice.
I am nice. I just, some days I have it together. Some days I don't. I was definitely like halfway prepping through this one when I was like, oh yeah, the adhesive sheets. That would have been smart. I don't know if I haven't tried these skinny dies with the dimensionals on the back. I know this layer would look good with the dimensionals on the back, but the skinny one, I don't know. I think you'd see a lot of the white from the dimensional. And I actually do recommend the Tombow when you're gluing with the felt because it seems to adhere to the felt really well. So. So I definitely build these, back to or front to back, right? So I find that to be easier. But everybody works a little different. Like, do you guys build your cards front to back or back to front?
You know what? I never really thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was something I had never thought of either. And then one day I remember I was watching someone put cards together. I was like, oh, that's not the way I would do it. Like, Sarah, how about you? Do you build front to back or back to front?
It depends on what materials I have and
Yeah, that's true.
what I'm focused on.
That's also true.
Because sometimes I make the card bases just to use up DSP, and then I have to figure out what to put on top.
Well, yes, the necessity. Did you see my post with all my scrap cards?
Yes, those were great.
Yeah, it's so funny. My scrap bucket was overflowing. I mean, it was insane. Like it was like, and I was like, okay, enough. Like I've got to sort this. So I'll dump it all out and I'll kind of pull out all the pieces that I think are really big and really like nice. And, I'm like, okay, I've got to make cards with these, pieces now. And then kind of the smaller pieces I'll set aside and save for like the senior center if we're going to do a scrap challenge or the kids or something like that. Sentiments, random snowflakes, whatever. And then if it's just plain cardstock, I'll throw it back into my cardstock scrap, situation that I've got, which is also overflowing, and I'm coming up with a solution for that. But yeah, but I have so much fun, like, saying, okay, what would I do with this piece? And it usually is just like a cast off, like, I die cut one too many of these, or or sometimes I don't like it. And I'm like, I don't like it. But then in the end, I'm like, well, yeah, but it's really usable. So why wouldn't you just use it?
Well, this is one of the things I was talking about. How do you find the time when you've got a scout troop, you're going to be a polling election person, you're going camping, you're taking the girls camping? I don't know. Are you sure you aren't like a cyborg or something, or you're?
Well, I mean, I will tell you, last week I did not go to bed at a good time. Like there was one night where like Jonathan was like, "Are you coming to bed?" And I was like, I don't know. Like I got to get this done.
I see your Instagram posts are usually pretty late in the evening.
Yeah. Yeah. And those are usually like, I've just finished crafting and I want to snap a photo of what I've done. So when I was working a full-time job at an office, like obviously I wasn't doing any crafting during the day, and then I'd come home and we'd have dinner. And then usually like I crafted like 9 to 11, right? Like I'd get the kid down and then that was like my time to like, craft and just my time. And I can watch a TV show while I do it, or I can, but, my husband is usually just watching a TV show himself, and I don't necessarily always like all the things that he watches. So, whatever, I'll watch my own thing up here. Now, like sometimes in the daytime, I have time to, break away and do stuff, especially on Fridays. I've been taking Fridays off. But yeah, it's mainly, a couple hours at night, whatever I can get done. And then Girl Scouts is just like, yeah, incidental and squeezed in. And luckily the girls are taking over more ownership of the meetings and stuff like as they get older. So it's been better. Um, but last weekend we had Daisy Day, and that was definitely more me on this one. Like I definitely had a lot more to do with that. Those girls, they're so funny. After we did it, I think that they understood what I was trying to do with them, but I think that while we were planning a virtual Daisy Day, they were like, how's this going to work? So luckily I had some good vision for that one. So with this one, because the Gilded Gems are so thick, and this is also thick, I would recommend putting a lot of dimensionals on the back, only because it's likely to depress, if you don't put a lot on. So I will probably put more on this one than I would put on anything normally. Like I never go this overboard, but this one definitely needs it. And I put a lot on that one, and I feel like it wasn't enough, so I'm putting even more on this one. How many dimensionals do I recommend? Let's see. 27. No. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Just 13. No big deal.
Well, good for you. It's an odd number.
Yeah. And not one that I believe is unlucky. So that's good. My dad did not believe in bad luck. And so he started his business on Friday the 13th. That's when he incorporated. And he was very convinced that luck was not a thing. Life was what you made it. So, all right, here we go. 5,000 dimensional backs later. My mother-in-law this weekend, she was like, I noticed that you're not saying like week whatever of quarantine. I'm like, yeah, because I can't keep up anymore. Like, we're done.
What's the point, right? It's whoever thought we were going to
Year one.
Well, that was it, right? Like I was so optimistic in the beginning, you know, I was like, oh, you know, we'll be done soon. It'll be fine. Yeah, right. Like, God, what were we thinking? Year one. Yeah, exactly.
I'm keeping track. This is year one.
God, I know. Changed us forever for sure. Like, all right, and then we'll use these gilded gems that I thought were oh so gaudy when they first came out, and now I love them. So, you know what they reminded me? They reminded me of an 80s studded denim jacket is what they reminded me of. I know.
Great.
I know. And that is what I know that is what like set me off and why I was like, no way, I'm never going to love these. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to stud everything. May everything be a studded jacket, you know?
Can I interrupt a second?
Yeah. What's
How
up?
did you attach your felt to your front?
I use Tombow.
You did.
I did. I find that it just kind of soaks into the felt and it just like makes it adhere.
Okay.
I think it's the best adhesive for it, unfortunately. As sad as that
All
is.
of this lasts you forever, doesn't it?
Oh, this is the same. I've been working on this bottle for years. I think I finally got myself, I had the same bottle for 4 or 5 years, but the outside had gotten so gunky. I finally threw it away because I was like, this is disgusting. It just looked filthy, you know? This one I've had for at least 2 years. Yeah, like I use a teensy bit of it every once in a while. And it looks kind of gunky too. Like I could probably stand to clean this up a little bit. So, and I have learned, I mean, it is really important to have it upside down. Like because I don't use this fat end very often. Every once in a while I will, and then I regret it. So
I didn't know there was a fat end.
oh, that's because nobody uses it. There's this giant fat rubber end that squeezes out enough Tombow for the next 7 years. When you do it like, yeah, it's huge. Yeah, no one uses it. Like everybody just uses and I just keep it upside down on my workstation because
and there's like a rubber stopper in there, right? Okay.
It's like a rubber, almost like a spatula. So it like squeezes it out and then you can like smear it. Yeah, don't use that end. It's a lot of glue that comes out when you do that. So see, things you didn't know. You learn something new every day.
And can you show me the front of the card again?
Yeah.
With your sparkles?
Yeah, I just put like the big guy down here and then the 2 little ones up there.
I think I'm missing one.
Uh-oh. Hopefully there's 3 in there. If there's not, you got him?
Yep.
Oh, good. It's weird. So sometimes it's easy for me to cut off a set where I can get like a large, a small, a large, medium, and a small. But with this set, they're not next to each other. So I literally have to like cut them out individually. It's like the weirdest package of gems. It's the hardest set of gems to share compared to probably all the other ones. So, but awesome. Okay, well, which one's your favorite? I always have to know.
That's tough. I think I'm going to be Vegas because, I love all the colors.
I know. I knew you would like that one. I was hoping you hadn't seen it on Martin's feed because I had a feeling you probably followed him, and I was like, and I sometimes sometimes I'll case exactly, and sometimes I'll get inspired. I'm like, oh, that's really pretty, and I want to do something similar, but I'll use, so like this one is a case, but like I use different paper and like the idea. But sometimes it's just so awesome that I have to copy it exactly. And his, I was like, there's no edits needed. Like, this is amazing. So, yeah. And then sometimes I come up with my own stuff. So I try to do a bit of, I like to mix it up. So, Lynn,
Well,
what's
great
your
job.
favorite one? Which was your favorite?
I think the peace and joy.
The purple?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really pretty. Yeah, they're really pretty.
Well, I think
And I
it
know-
suits me because now I can't get my lid back on. I'll try again. I've been trying.
Sometimes I find if I just walk away, have a sip of coffee or tea and come back, then if you fuss with it, sometimes I've had that happen before too, where I'm like fussing with it and I'm like, and then I come back and it's fine. So
I'll let you know.
Okay. Well, Sarah, let me know who you want me to send that kit to.
I know exactly who. Now that I've constructed them, I know exactly the right person.
Yay. All right. Well, message me, let me know, and I'll ship it out tomorrow or tonight, whatever. I can print the mailer, and then and it ships really easy because I ship those other ones to Anne too. So, and then Anne can get the recording, and then I will let me fix the color of the ink in that PDF. I mean, you guys, like, I'll resend it to both of you, and I'll resend it to Anne too, because I thought I used gray granite, but I used smoky slate. So I just need to remember. I don't know why I thought I used gray granite. It's definitely a different color. So yeah, it's like a brownie gray, and so I definitely use gray granite or smoky slate. So I have a hard time telling the difference between those two colors, to tell you the truth. Like, I can if I put the cardstock next to each other, I can tell the difference, but one just has more brownie color in it, yellow. So we did the home design process stuff last week. Oh, I'll stop the recording. Let's see how I can do that easily. Stop.